This is the sound of your ride home with Dad after he caught you vaping. Awkward, isn't it? Most vapes contain seriously addictive levels of nicotine and disappointment. Know the real cost of vapes. Brought to you by the FDA.
This is Andrew from Dead Karma, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious Podcast.
Podcast. 70,000 tons of metal.
The original, the world's biggest heavy metal cruise. 60 bands, 4 days, one cruise ship, only 3,000 tickets.
From Miami, Florida to Ocho Rios, Jamaica.
January 30th to February 3rd, 2025. 5 days and 4 nights mingling side by side with your favorite artists in this incredible fan-friendly scenario that has no comparison.
Go to 70,000tons.com and book your ticket now.
Hey.
Hi there, how you doing?
Good, how are you, my friend?
Pretty good. My power's been out almost all day, so I'm running on battery, but we should be good.
Is it a storm or just something in the neighborhood?
We had planned electrical work. It was supposed to be done in the morning, and it's, running late.
It's always that way, right?
Yeah, is how it is, but we'll make it work.
Perfect. So we can just jump right in if you want.
Sure.
Dead Karma. I was not familiar till I heard from Curtis here and really dig it. I mean, that first song, not The Purge, the one before that.
Space Camaro.
That's the one that drew me totally in, right? It got me like, hey, well, maybe there's something to this. But when you got to The Purge, damn, that's a great song.
Thanks, appreciate it. That was actually the first one. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
That was the first one The Purge was the first one we wrote, so we were kind of just sort of feeling it out, and it was actually a holdover from a previous band that I wrote with our now former guitarist. So we were kind of feeling it out with that one, but it's I like it still. It's heavy, it's fun to play, a little angry.
Yeah, more so than the other 3 songs, I think, right?
Yeah, definitely has a different attitude to it.
So was that written at a different period in your life then, or how did that sneak into the other 3?
They were sort of written just sort of sequentially over the course of a few months. Nothing really different going on, just trying to think of different things to write about. Space Camaro is obviously a little more fun and laid back, and our other guitarist, before he left, wrote the lyrics to that one. And his full-time job, he's a mechanic, loves cars, so it kind of just came together naturally. I sort of go between pulling on personal stuff or, my background is like a history teacher. So my stuff's probably a little less fun than his, just based on my background. So The Purge was definitely heavier pulling on that.
And it's probably heavier in the lyric content too, right? Than the other 3?
Yeah, definitely. There's elements of weight to the other ones. Definitely not Space Camaro. That was just fun. But The Purge is is probably our only one that's political in any way or drawing on sort of dark parts of history.
And do you feel that it's a sort of responsibility to bring that to the bump it higher, that sort of message, or is that just something you're just venting or getting out?
Yeah, I think it's just a venting thing. I don't think we go into songwriting or choosing what we're writing about with any sort of plan or idea of what we're trying to do or elevate it above, we're just 3 guys in a basement writing music, so we're not really sort of pushing anything past what we think we are. It's just certain things. If you have something to say about it, music's a good release for that, one way or another. So if we have ideas, we put them out there.
Also, I think you said the magic word, playing in your basement, right? I think what's missing in a lot of the music today is things are just sent, via email back and forth, and they're sort of sterile. I know it works, and I know it makes it easier, cheaper, and all that kind of stuff. And most of the time, you don't even notice. But I think when three guys get together in their basement with a couple beers or whatever their favorite drink is, what comes out is super organic and more real.
Yeah, I definitely think we're trying to be, I don't know, I don't want to sound like weird about it, but being just like authentic in it. Like we're not trying to plan ahead what we're going to write. We sort of usually just come to practice, and Sean, like the bass player, or myself, will come with a riff, and we'll sort of just see how it sounds and build from there. We don't really like have long form jams. We'll sort of just like play the riff and play it over and over again and see where it takes us. So we don't really plan anything out. We don't really send a whole lot of stuff back and forth or pre-write our songs and say, here's my song, and then you guys all have to find your own parts. It's very collaborative in that, and sort of just, and I think that's why each of the 4 songs on the EP kind of sound different, because, one night we have 1 beer and we had a good week at work. The other time we were having 6 or 7 and, less so.
Right. So that's how it goes in. I mean, all the songwriting's done like that. And I think, like I said, that's very organic and people appreciate it. And I think the average fan knows.
Yeah, I think so. We definitely don't have like an overly polished sound. So I don't think we're fooling anybody that we're, not that there's like, I like a lot of,
right.
Yeah, there's plenty of bands that you can hear and like, wow, these guys are incredibly tight, and it's almost like a computer tight, and so we're not fooling anybody with that.
So I know the record's due out in the 23rd of August, right? So we got about a month away. Singles are out. What's been the response to them so far? Pretty good?
Yeah, a lot of people really liked Space Camaro. We heard a lot of really positive feedback from that one. It's definitely sort of just more like a straight rock and roll type of song. Kind of just plugs along, and it's just a fun sort of headbanger. The Purge has been out. It only came out
in the beginning.
Yeah, we try and have like every song going to the songwriting is usually just building off a riff. So if we're bringing a riff to try and build a song around, we try and make sure it's at least a little catchy. And I think The Purge kind of has the same thing with the intro riff for that one, a very guitar-driven riff. The next single that we're, like the 3rd song from the EP coming out, I think we're pushing out in about a month. Gravity Mirror, again, it has a very guitar-driven opening riff. And sort of that's how our songs sort of were built. Dominion is probably the only one that's a little different. It doesn't have so much guitar-driven stuff. It's a little longer, a little more post-hardcore or whatever you want to call it, but I think they all have something to offer. They're all a little different. But Space Camaro is the most different in terms of its attitude, and then we just released The Purge, so we're hearing some good things about that, but we'll wait and see.
Right. So 3 guys in the basement, what are the chances of taking this out on the road? Or is it just mostly one-offs?
The shows are mostly one-offs right now. Like we were talking and might be into doing some sort of like mini tours just locally, but we all have our day jobs that pay the bills. The band's not paying the bills, and we don't really have any plans of it. We're not, banking on that happening. And I have 2 young kids, so anything that we do would sort of be short-term, sort of mini tours. But it's something we're open to and looking at for sure.
That's something to be said too. Like when you're just writing music to write music, you're not writing music to be the next Bon Jovi. It's really just kind of in your DNA and who you are. I think that also is something that people pick up on.
Yeah, it sort of came about in sort of a very like organic way. We keep both using that word, but we were just sort of hanging out. The first band, we sort of just had a bunch of Queens of the Stone Age covers and sort of wrote some stoner rock stuff, and then that band kind of fell apart. So we were starting this new one and had some covers, but then we wrote a couple of our own tunes just because, we took it to the next step and like, hey, if we're writing stuff, we might as well play some shows. And then we played some shows and they went really well. We're like, well, if people like it, maybe we should record it. So there was never like a plan of what we're going to do. It was, if we played our first show and it was embarrassingly bad, that would have been it. But it went well. And so It's just been one thing after the other.
Nice. Anything planned for the near future?
We have one show coming up next month. Summer's a bit busy for everybody, but we have another show coming up in July. And then around the EP release, we're trying to get some shows together. We played with a fair few bands that aren't in our local area, so either having some like home and away stuff where we travel to them and they travel here and try and, help both sides out, sort of spread their area of fans.
So if you're not touring, then are you one of those bands that's always writing?
A little bit. I wouldn't say that we're writing too much. We have the EP with 4 songs. We have about 5 new ones done already. We're hoping to get into the studio to record either another EP or push it to a full length at some point later in the year. But pretty much like everything we're doing, it's kind of just seeing how it goes. If we get a lot of shows, we'll play a lot of shows. If we're not getting a lot of shows for a given stretch of time, then we'll be writing more. And it's sort of just, as long as we're playing music, we're enjoying it.
Fair enough. And if fans want to find you, how do they do so?
Instagram's usually our most active platform. Dead Karma Music or Dead Karma Band. Facebook, same deal, Dead Karma Music. We have our Bandcamp up. You can find us there. And although I don't ever use it, we are on TikTok for, the young kids, but I don't use it very much.
I can't get the hang of it. I'm on there too, but I don't use it much either.
Yeah, it was just sort of one of those platforms where like, it's there, there's so much there, I should try, but I'm not with it.
There's it's going to be difficult to scream above all the noise on there though, I think.
Yeah, no kidding. I was trying to think of trying to take a different approach, and it might be, you mentioned the riff to Space Camaro. I might just do little short clips on how to play our riffs and see if people like that. And be like, everyone likes that sort of more intimate, guitar lesson style stuff on some of those platforms. So it might be something to do. And just teach how easy our riffs are, but they sound good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Did I miss anything you want to cover?
I don't think so. Just appreciate the conversation. Thanks for having me on, Bruce. It was good talking to you. No
problem at all. I appreciate you taking the time as well. Good luck with the singles. Hopefully the Purge catches on, because I was digging that one. I like the whole thing, but I went through it and went, well, that's the one I come back to and I want to hear more.
Yeah, awesome. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to how the others are received.
Yeah, hopefully it kicks ass, and we'll see. Maybe we'll see it in the States here sometime.
We'd love that. That'd be great.
It makes sense. I know it's.
Yeah. We'll definitely find the time if we can make it work, for sure.
Awesome. Be well, my friend.
All right. Take care, Bruce.
Cheers.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Hi, this is Chad Nicefield.
And this is Justin Press.
We're the host of Making Waves, the Shiprock podcast, a part of the Sound Talent Media Podcast Network. We're inviting you to sail away with us on an epic journey in musical enlightenment. Every week, we bring you only the best artists in rock music and discuss everything from the cruise, to the stage, to the saga of being a professional recording artist. We'll have lots of special guests along the way, so tune in every week.
Your stateroom is available every Monday morning, so welcome aboard.